All right, let's take a look at Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian Omnibus Volume 9. So what happened here is this is put out by Titan Comics. Here you see this spine. And back when Marvel had these omnibuses and had the rights to Conan and Robert E. Howard and all that, they were putting out omnibuses of Savage Sword of Conan, but they stopped at 8. And so when Titan resumed the program and started with Volume 1, etc., and going on forth from that, they skipped ahead to Volume 9. And everyone's like, what's going on with that? Well, that's because those who were collecting the Marvel omnibuses of Savage Sword, they missed out on 9 because they never put one out. So now Titan put out Volume 9. So the cover is the direct market cover. And this is collecting Savage Sword of Conan 117 to 132, Marvel graphic novel 19, The Witch Queen of Acheron, and Epic Illustrated 34. I love when they do the covers and stuff on the back. Looks really awesome. Here's the cover, pretty awesome. And here they, here's the sell point. Here, even though these are always in plastic, it's like no one can even read that. Here's the actual cover, actual spine, and the back, and here's the creator's little slip here. Let's toss this aside so we can get into the interiors of this. So yes, Volume 9, these are all awesome. My issue with the Savage Sword omnibuses is that they don't collect everything. It's just Conan stuff. And anything else, if other characters are in a Conan story, it's fine. Here are the contents. But if they're in their own story, then, they're not in this, right? Life with Conan and Other Acts of Weirdness, Jonathan Maberry. Here's the Witch Queen of Acheron. That's going to be at the end. Here's the map that's ubiquitous in all of these things. Here's a Conan, a 117. I have this. I recognize this cover. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, if there's anything with Red Sonja starring in her own thing, then it's not going to be here. All this art is exquisite. Really pops in black and white here. Pretty cool stuff. October 1985. That's cool. They tell you when I guess that's the cover date, not really the release date. Pretty neat stuff. Here's a big monster, of course. Pretty cool. These were known as the more mature reader stories, but every so often there'd be some nudity or something like that. In terms of violence, the comic was pretty up there. I love these covers. There's always some crazy monster that Conan's fighting in this exquisite art. Valley of Howling Shadows, Alchemy, Swords and Scrolls. Pretty cool. So they do credit with each story. So this one is the artist is Gary Kwapis. Pretty neat stuff. And it wasn't all just Roy Thomas and everything. There was other writers too. And it wasn't, look at this guy. And it wasn't all just adaptations of the original stories. It was also brand new stories as well, of course. And also they would feature things from other Robert E. Howard stories as well, other characters and stuff. Homecoming. I was looking for credits here, but a lot of hatching and stuff. Really cool stuff. Really looks great. Conan, I just I guess, comes back and he doesn't really like what he sees. There's always a zombie or something somewhere. This is 120. The big fight here, pit fight. Pablo Marcos art. Larry Akata is writer. He's been writing a lot of these. Look how huge he is compared to her. There's a 121. Kull the Conqueror probably won't be represented here, but we'll see. Yeah. These are all great. I mean, to have these on your shelf and take one off the shelf and read one of these stories with this amazing art and all this, like, fantasy violence stuff, it's incredible. The art is great. Yeah, Conan fan club, yeah. Big monster here. Yeah, so that Kull thing isn't in there. That's kind of my issue with these. I've been collecting the originals anyways. They're around. Some people overvalue them, some people don't. It really depends who you're with. And I'm not too fussy about condition. These were magazines from the 70s, and they were treated as such. Here's 123. So they're not going to be perfect, but I don't want like ratty and I can't read it kind of thing, or like it's falling apart. For the most part, you can get decent, presentable looking ones. And if they present well, I mean, like if you show someone like one of these magazines, just the cover. Look at this monster. Hold on. He has to fight that guy. And he disappears. If you showed someone one of these covers, that you know, of a low condition one, it still looks good, right? Here's 124. I'll skip ahead a bit here. Which one's this? Wow, there's a lot of lead up, eh? 125. So they do give you the original table of contents, but from there you can see what they've scooped out. If there are articles and stuff, they're usually in here. And letters are in here as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Conan was a huge, huge property for Marvel for a long time. To the point where, like, I guess if you're growing up in the 70s, you probably thought he was just a Marvel character. 128. But those paperbacks were ubiquitous too. And of course, it led to the movie. Really, the popularity of the comic, Conan the Barbarian, led to the movie, Conan the Barbarian. And there's a lot of comic book input to that. And of course, they made the Red Sonja movie, which arguably is the first Marvel movie, because Red Sonja, so here's the cover that I picked for this dust jacket. But Red Sonja, you know, the version everyone knows as a barbarian is not the version that's in the book, and it's spelled differently too in the books. I mean, she's just in one short story, but everything in that old Red Sonja movie is from the comic, like the origin and everything, her demeanor, that she's even in Hyboria at all. This guy's cool. He has to fight this monster. Alright, so the Witch, Queen of Acheron, of course, was one of the graphic novel series from Marvel, and it was in color, and it's a whole, like, story. It's pretty awesome. And the whole thing is represented here. Here's this monster. Always gotta be some monster. Oh, and they come in and into this crowd here. There's elk and caribou here. Pretty cool. There's always extras at the back. Original art. Naked art. Meaning that there's no lettering or anything on them. Pencils. So there you have it. That is what you get in Volume 9 of the Savage Sword of Conan from Titan Comics. So hope you like going through this with me quickly. You know, if you like this video, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.